Next, we have a young woman that I personally admire. She is intelligent, beautiful inside and out, a dedicated member of sisterhood, and someone who is constantly sharing her time giving back to the community. Please help me welcome graduating senior with a Bachelor of Arts in Communications and Sociology,
Krista DeFils.
That's my sister.
How are you guys doing tonight? I'm kind of nervous, so bear with me. There are 129 amazing Black graduates in this room tonight, and I think we actually have more than that. Record number. Some of you are going away to grad school, others are working right away. A handful of you are going the Teach for America route, and a special select few of us are studying abroad this summer. It was difficult thinking of how I was going to write a speech that could reach such a diverse audience. We come from different regions, socioeconomic backgrounds, career interests, etc. But we do have at least 3 things in common, and it is that we are Black, gifted, and graduating. To Dr. Sheila Edwards-Lang, who during my freshman year stressed the importance of Black students not only attending a university, but the importance of us actually graduating. I thought of how all historically famous speeches begin with something powerful, like, for example, 407 years ago, or I had a dream. And I just couldn't think of anything that would sum up these 4, 5, or for some of us 6 or 7 years, but hey, who's counting? The important thing is that you're graduating.
Yes.
But no opening sentence sounded quite right. Then it hit me. I don't want to say this like a speech to you guys. We've been all through this together, so I want to just talk to you guys. So can I do that?
Yeah.
I firmly believe that our generation was the beginning of a new era. Most of our class grew up as 80s babies. We witnessed the rise of hip-hop, reality TV shows, and boy bands. And not just pop bands, but oh no, R&B sensations like 112, Boyz II Men, and Drew Hill. We helped perpetuate annoying 90s phrases such as tight, filthy, and da bomb. We were there for the tacky jersey dress trend. Some of y'all still got in your closet. The skinny jeans epidemic, which clearly survived the rapture. And the infamous tall tees. Our generation helped make Facebook fanatics the only website where you can legally stalk people, and Twitter, a place where people's random thoughts and news that breaks faster than CNN. See, our generation will find a way to make money out of anything. We were the ones that, regardless of what you feel about politics, helped elect our first Black president of the United States. So, whether people want to give you credit for that or not, our generation helped to make that change. For many of us, it was our first time voting. You helped to make that change, so don't forget that. Like myself, I'm sure many of you went through stages until finally you realized that it all came down to this one moment. The time to walk across that stage at SC Stadium to say to yourself, I did it. For me, I've noticed that this moment of reckoning didn't come right away. Oh no, in fact, it was a process. And as I reflect, I realized that there were 4 stages in this process. Now, the first one was denial, which I feel like I'm still in denial right now. But first stage was denial. This is when you're just trying to do things to keep busy and brainwash yourself that you have more time in college. For some of us, it was distractions like watching some of the most elite and exquisite television programming, such as Basketball Wives, The Real Housewives of Atlanta, or The Game, which is my favorite show. Our generation helped bring back The Game, you guys. Anyways, you're telling yourself, no, I'm a college student. This is my life now. I'm not ready for it to change. Maybe if I don't think about it, I can go back to freshman year, or maybe sophomore year, because freshman year was kind of awkward, or maybe junior year, because that's when most of us turn 21. But then came the day that you received the famous email telling you that it was time to register for graduation. And it was at that moment that you most likely transitioned into the next phase. Stage 2, bargaining. We try to make deals with ourselves and sometimes God. God, please let the time until graduation go slower. I swear I'll study hard in all my classes, and when I go to Club OE, I'll even sit on the quiet floor, which never happens. If you just slow down time, I'll do everything I should have done these past 4 years. Visiting every building on campus, taking a class at the IMA, actually using the IC, and I'll try to get a 4.0 in a class. But then you rise up and move on. Now, stage 3. This one varies from person to person. It's usually a mix between anger and depression, but we'll call it sadness tonight. Some people are angry at themselves, thinking, man, why did I not take more internships or use more of the free resources on campus? And why didn't I kick it more? And if it's sadness, it's like, man, why did I kick it so hard? My GPA could have been so much better. Where did all my youth go? Is this greater? Now I need to get a job and pay bills. But eventually, like the survivors that we all are, we get through this phase as well and move on to the final stage. And this is what I like to call stage 4, acceptance. You knew it was coming. You got your cap and gowns, which are black and beautiful like yourselves. You took graduation pictures. You possibly planned a graduation party. And you registered for the various ceremonies like the 15th annual Black graduation. Now it's time for us to go our separate ways and move on to the hypothetical next chapter. And we think to ourselves, how messed up is it that they have to remodel the hub year that we graduated and move the ECC to Cotton Hall in the outskirts of campus? But it's cool because we are a generation that is no stranger to sacrifice. And for this we give thanks and pay tribute to all who have come before us and helped to pave the way for us. And so now it's time for you to pave yours. With the education that you gained from this world-class institution, you have the tools in you to do whatever you want. In reference to the scholar, bell hooks, the only difference between the kids from the south side of Chicago and those from a wealthy upbringing was that the wealthy kids grew up with a sense of entitlement. They were bred with the feeling that you can go out and pursue whatever you want. Many of us were not bred with that same feeling, so we have to go out and feel it for ourselves. Am I right? So that's what many of us have done. Will Smith said that the worst thing that you can do is be rational and tell yourselves no. So go out and grab what you were made to do, and don't let yourself or anyone else tell you no. When I was little, my parents always told me when I went somewhere, you better represent. Because they told me you never know who's watching, and the same goes for you guys. You better represent like you know how to do, because unlike a lot of our peers that we grew up with, we were blessed with a good education and we have options. And you never know who's watching you and looking up to you and how you can help mentor the next little black kid to follow in your footsteps. Lastly, I'll add, don't be a stranger. Be proud to be an alumni. You can still support campus events and organizations, and keep in touch. Because these days, people think if you don't have a Facebook or Twitter, you must be either dead or going through some type of crisis. So keep in touch. Don't just But don't be hanging around the campus all the time either, because nobody wants to be a hella old alumni. So in closing, you guys enjoy your graduation festivities, and congratulations.